Namaste, we wish you all a very happy and prosperous Deepavali and welcome to the Science and Significance Behind Deepavali program. To elaborate about this, we have Sri Raman Suprajarama. He is none other than grandson of Dr. B.V. Raman. He had studied Vedic astrology, Vastu Shastra from a very young age. He is also a senior editor of Astrological e-magazine. He was given lecture, conducted various workshops, taught astrology across the world. He is working in an IT company helping global business adopt artificial intelligence, machine learning and automation technology. So let us welcome him for the show. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
So first of all, we wish you a very happy and prosperous Deepavali.
Thank you very much, and I also wish you and the viewers of Shankara TV a very happy and prosperous Deepavali.
It is pleasure having you here, sir. Can you just tell what is Deepavali in your
Sure.
words?
Sure. So let's begin with the basic word called Deepavali.
Yes.
Now, Deepavali actually has two words, Deepa and Avali. Right? Deepa means a lighted lamp, not just a lamp, but a lighted lamp.
Okay.
And Avali means a row, a line. So, in its literal meaning, Deepavali stands for a lighted lamp placed in a row. So, what you see here is actually called Deepavali.
Okay.
But there is much more significance than just the word. What happens is if you if every Indian festival that we have, each festival has a particular significance, and it is actually observed to improve one aspect of human life.
Okay.
Deepavali specifically is actually aimed to improve the wealth aspect of human life. So this festival Deepavali is primarily celebrated to ensure that there is abundance, wealth and prosperity amongst all of us.
Very nice. Can you just elaborate what is behind Deepavali, like, a science in Deepavali?
Sure. If I have to tell this, then I have to just take you back to a bit of and teach you a bit of science. So what happens is, if you look at it from an Earth's perspective, you will see that there's a lot of planets, the sun and the moon, they move around the Earth.
Okay.
Though theoretically the Earth moves around the sun, what happens is from an Earth standpoint of when you apply the theory of relativity, you will find that the planets, the sun and the moon, they move around the Earth. Now these when they move around the Earth, there are different type of combinations that happen, and they exert different types of forces on Earth.
Okay.
These forces can be either positive or it could be negative. Similarly, these forces that I am talking about either can be just for a fraction of a second. For example, 4/5 of a second. So we call it kshana.
Okay.
So the force can only be for that point of time. It can go a little further and say for about 12 minutes. It can go even further for about 24 minutes. We call it gatika. So these are the forces which we use for muhurtas, marriage muhurtas, or signing a real estate paper, or making some business transactions, or even probably starting a new office or a building. So 24 hours. Some even extend to almost half a day.
Okay.
And the influence can either be in the night or in the daytime. As an example would be Mahashivaratri. This is half of the day, but it's more in the night. Shivaratri, Ratri is more in the night. So the influence is more in the night. And some of these influences, they exert over a couple of days. As an example, you have Navratri. It happens over 9 days.
Yes.
The entire influence happens over 9 days. Deepavali actually falls in the last category, where the influence is spread across 5 days.
Okay.
And these 5 days are pivoted specifically around one particular celestial combination, which basically is known as the Amavasya in Ashvayuja Masa.
Okay.
So 2 tithis before that and 2 tithis after that together constitute the festival of Deepavali. So net we have 2 tithis before, which is Trayodashi and Chaturdashi. Then we have the actual tithi, which is Amavasya. Then we have Pratama and Dvitiya. So these 5 tithis put together constitute this Deepavali.
At present, we are celebrating Deepavali for 3 days. I've heard that people used to celebrate the Deepavali for 5 days before. So, in this 2017, when is Deepavali observed? And I mean the dates of Deepavali.
Sure. So as I told you, it's going to happen for 5 days. So the in its traditional manner, and when I say traditional manner, from an astronomical perspective and also from a scientific perspective, the start date is on October 17th. It starts in the midnight, very early in the morning at around 12:30 a.m.
Okay.
The Deepavali, the influence of the planet start then, and it ends on October 22nd, 3 a.m. in the morning.
Okay.
So the roughly you calculate it's about a little more than five days. But what happens is today, you know, most of the people are actually very busy, and they probably may not be able to devote all the 5 days
Okay.
for celebration. So if that is the case, if you are not able to at least devote all the 5 days, at least devote the central 3 days.
Okay.
And that's the most important thing.
Huh.
And this would roughly translate to October 18th, 19th, and the 20th.
Dear viewers, we are going to continue the show after a short break. Welcome back after a short break. So what's special in this 2017 Deepavali?
Yes, actually a good question. So let me try to give you a simple overview of how the celestial forces act on us.
Okay.
So on Deepavali, what happens is the sun and the moon, they start aligning with each other.
Huh.
And on this day, on the day of Amavasya, they're exactly in conjunction.
Okay.
Now, during Deepavali, this conjunction happens in the zodiac called Libra or Tula. Now, we have 12 zodiacs, out of which Tula is the 7th zodiac.
Okay.
And particularly, it also the conjunction happens this time in Chitra Nakshatra. Now, zodiacs, Libra as a sign is basically denoted, represents basically business.
Okay.
So anything to do with monetary affairs is all very potent in the sign of Tula.
Okay.
So that's the reason Deepavali, as a rule, you know, we usually look at observing any activity related to finances. Lakshmi Puja is very popular, right? So
Yes.
that's one of the reasons why it is done. Now, when it happens in Chitra Nakshatra specifically, what happens is the sun actually is debilitated.
Okay.
Now, sun is the source of all energy that we know, either directly or indirectly. The earth, for earth, planet earth, sun is the source of all energy. Now, when sun is in Tula Nakshatra, what happens is it becomes debilitated.
Okay.
Which basically means it loses all its energy. It becomes weak. It doesn't have any influence whatsoever.
Okay.
Now suddenly I said, you know, sun is the source of all energy, but hey, here this person is saying that you know, sun is losing all the energy. This happens in all Amavasya days, but specifically on this day, what happens is because of the way in which the conjunction happens. There is a magical phenomena that happens called Necha Bhanga Raja Yoga, where basically the entire weakness of the sun is tilted and becomes opposite. Not just opposite, it gains triple energy. So sun becomes absolutely powerful, and it will be shining with exuberance.
Okay.
And when this sign happens in the Chitra Nakshatra, the outcomes, the way the atmosphere is conditioned is totally different. Chitra, basically the ruler is Vishwakarma, basically who is the celestial architect. So when sun is in Libra in Chitra Nakshatra, a lot of creative energies start percolating in the entire atmosphere. Naturally, you, me, who are all, you know, in this planet Earth, will start, you know, reviving our creative energies.
Okay.
And this energy is extremely suitable from a monetary perspective. So any person who really wants to relook at his life, who has not been doing good so far, or whose life is just mediocre, or if there is a big leap that he wants to take from a wealth perspective, Deepavali is the right time for him to kickstart his journey.
Okay.
Okay? Now, in 2017, there are 3 very important combinations that actually happen. The first one is when this conjunction of the sun and moon happen, along with it there is Jupiter and Mercury.
Okay.
Which basically means that that average people who would you know, be under the influence of this exuberant sun will also be under the influence of Jupiter and Mercury. And because of this, what happens is the person's sanity increases. So people will start thinking in a sane manner, and at the same time they'll also start thinking in an ethical manner.
Okay.
So this basically is very good state to be in. In addition to that, the entire planets of the zodiac interestingly starts falling between Rahu and Ketu. It goes under the name called Kala Sarpa Yoga.
Okay.
Now, usually this Kala Sarpa Yoga, people get scared of it and thinking that it is very negative.
Yeah.
But interestingly, this particular combination is very good for a professional mundane life. When it is the other side, which is Kala Amrita Yoga, it is good for spiritual life. But when we talk about the Kala Sarpa Yoga, it's actually very good for the professional life.
Okay.
Now, these combinations make Deepavali 2017 very relevant for anyone to really look at, making the best use of the influence to his monetary advantage. So this basically is the special significance of
Okay.
2017.
This is what exactly astrology in the regard of significance to Deepavali this time.
That's correct.
Dear viewers, Deepavali special program will continue after short break. Welcome back to Deepavali special program called The Science and Significance Behind Deepavali. What are the rituals observed during Deepavali?
Sure. So as I told you, the most important thing is wealth.
Okay.
And if one has to, if one sets a goal saying that, okay, today, I'm going to earn wealth, and there's nothing wrong in, by the way, there's nothing wrong in earning wealth. Wealth earned in the right manner is always accepted in every traditions around the world.
Okay.
If you earn it in a negative manner, that is where you have to question yourself. You need to have a moral compass. But there's nothing wrong earning wealth in the right manner. And this is an opportunity for everyone to actually earn wealth in the right manner. Now suppose I have a goal saying that I want to increase my wealth by say 20%. Or for example, you might probably want to have a goal saying that I want to buy a new house.
Yes.
Right. So there could be a lot of individual goals that people have. Some people are going to invest in stock market. Some people are businessmen. Some people are salaried, so they are looking for promotions. So many different wealth goals would be there, professional wealth goals that would be there. Now, if you have to do all these things, traditionally what we believe is that the main source of wealth is Shakti.
Okay.
Okay. When I say Shakti, don't imagine this to be Mahakali, Durga. Mata, etc.
Okay.
Shakti purely means energy. You need energy to accumulate wealth, and you basically need three types of energy.
Okay.
So we call this Icha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, and Gnana Shakti.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Icha Shakti basically means the desire to achieve the willpower or the desire to achieve a particular goal. Kriya Shakti is the ability to execute that goal.
Okay.
For example, suppose you say that I want to invest in a business. If you say that, you need manpower, physical strength, right? So you need manpower. You also need capital, means you need money to invest in the business.
Yes.
Or on top of that, you need a place to stay. You need some tools. You need some technologies to do it. So all these three put together are known as Kriya Shakti.
Okay.
Okay. And finally, there is something called a Gnana Shakti. Gnana Shakti, loosely translated, can be knowledge. So it basically means a clear understanding of what goal you want to achieve, number one. What are the challenges and problems that you will encounter during the process?
Okay.
And what is that special knowledge, unique knowledge that you have to overcome these things? What is that insight that you have to ensure that you go and reach your goal? So these are the three things that is required when you think of pursuing a monetary goal.
Okay.
Now these rituals that have been designed is basically aligned to the 3 Shaktis that I have told.
Okay.
Now, out of the 5 days, I'll just I will not communicate on the first and the second, primarily because that is a Gupta Rahasya, means you are not supposed to publicly tell it, and only under specific supervision of the Guru,
Okay.
you basically have to carry out those rituals.
Fine.
Number one, and number two is they have to be customized. You have to look at the horoscope and then prescribe what ritual has to be done on the first day and the 5th day.
Okay.
But the remaining 3 days, which starts from Naraka Chaturdashi, then Amavasya, and then Padyami, right? I will give you certain rituals on what to do.
Okay.
So the first one would be Naraka Chaturdashi. So this is going to take place on October 18th.
Okay.
So as I told you, there are totally 5 days. This is the second day. This is on October 18th, and the primary objective there would be the Icha, to improvise your Icha Shakti.
Okay.
So what do you do to improvise the Icha Shakti? So there is an elaborate ritual that you will have to carry out, but but not everybody can do it. They have to be in that very sadhana way of living, and they have to be extremely committed to this. Not everybody can do it.
Okay.
But there are a couple of things that I will share what you can do. The first and foremost that you should do, you would have heard also, is known as Abhyanga Snanam.
Okay.
That's the first thing. Now, what does Abhyanga Snanam means? Snanam basically means bath. But why is it called Abhyanga Snanam? Abhyanga literally means to rub, to massage.
Okay.
Abhyanga literally means to rub or to massage. On this day, what you will have to do is you will have to use sesame oil and massage your entire body and then have the bath. Now, when do you need to do this? You need to do it 1 muhurta before sunrise. So roughly, if the sunrise is at around 6:15 in the morning, so about 45 minutes, 48 minutes to be precise, but 45 minutes is fine. About 45 minutes before is when you have to actually undertake this bath.
Okay.
Now, when you undertake this bath, what will happen is, because you are applying sesame, and of course, once you apply sesame, within 10 minutes you have to have the bath. So you should not leave your body for long. You have to have hot water bath immediately after this. So what will happen is the overall pitta in the body comes down a bit.
Okay.
Because of this particular thing. So everything is so scientific and extremely well calibrated.
Yes.
The position of the sun and the moon, the position of the other planets, plus the snanam that you do with the sesame oil, what happens is they will reduce the pitta within the body. When the pitta reduces, automatically your creative energies get invoked within the body. So an ordinary person who is not usually creative, so-called creative, will naturally start having creative energies the moment you do this particular ritual.
Okay.
Okay. So you begin with this bath. Now, once you actually finish the bath, then the next important thing that you will have to do is you will have to you basically have to you basically the common notion is that you will have to wear new clothes and stuff like that, right? So particularly they insist on wearing either a cotton or a silk cloth. So you will see traditionally most of these people who would have actually had their bath would have wrapped themselves with a cotton dhoti.
Yes.
Right? Even females would have started opting for cotton saris. There is again a reason for it. Cotton is the closest texture that is available to us, which will be able to absorb all these cosmic energies. This is scientifically proven. So the next one that you have to do is, after your bath, you have to dress on with cotton clothes.
Okay.
Now, once you do this, you will have to chant the Navagraha sloka for 9 times.
Okay.
So there is a sloka which starts from Japa Kusuma Sankasham Kashapeyam Mahadyutim. So there's a particular sloka that is there. It is available on the internet. You go to any store, you will get a book on Navagraha Stotra.
Yes.
So you can just take that and you basically have to recite it for
9 times.
9 times. Now, once you do this, what happens is the body starts getting conditioned, and the Icha Shakti that is there starts getting churned. And you will start noticing that there will be a significant difference in your own mindset. What would this would have happened even in your life. For example, there would be some moments where you will suddenly be extremely creative and you don't know why it is. And there are some moments where how much ever you try, the creativity will not be there. These are all because of these. It's basically the chemical composition that is there in the body. Now naturally the creative juices start churning up at this point of time, and once you do this ritual, your creative energies are at its optimum.
Okay.
This is the time when you can start planning how you want to actually increase your wealth, and what would be your goal, and what is the best route for you. Now another tip that I would want to give here is, each horoscope will indicate which is the most favorable stream of revenue for him or her.
Okay.
Right? For example, for you probably the most favorable stream of revenue would probably be anchoring, TV anchoring.
Yes.
Right? For somebody else it could be law, somebody else it could be being a doctor, so for somebody else
Yes.
it could be stock brokerage.
Yes.
For people who are in IT, it could be different things. So accordingly, when we look at the horoscope and we know which is the uniqueness, then that would be the line of thought that you should concentrate on for your goal with regard to wealth.
Okay.
So this is for the second day. Next I'll give you what has to be done on this third day.
Third day.
So third day, again here also you always have to begin with a bath, but this
Okay.
time you don't have to do the Abhyanga Sthanam. This time you have to do what is known as a regular hot water bath, but you end it with 2 portions of cold water.
Okay.
So what happens is, whenever you would have noticed in day-to-day life, right?
Yes.
When you have hot water bath, you are very comfortable and things
Yes,
are very, but suddenly when you are cold water, you shiver and you wake up.
Yeah.
So this is basically a very Vedic ritual, and that's the reason why they do it. So they end it with 2 cold water bath, your body wakes up.
Okay.
That is the reason. You will also notice simple thing like you will not have any sleepy eyes. Your eyes will be much more wide awake.
Exactly.
That's the reason whenever you have sleepy eyes, people, our elders used to say splash cold water on your face, because it wakes up the body. So when you finish your regular hot water bath, end it with 2 or 3 vessels of cold water bath. So this wakes up the body. Now once you do this, what you will have to do is you will have to light 7 lamps.
7.
This is important. So I come back to the original, because this is Amavasya day.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yes.
So I told you Deepawali. Deepa means lighted lamps, and Avali means in a row. So you have to light 7 lamps. That is most important. 7 lamps, and you have to place it in the south direction of your house.
South direction.
Yes.
Okay.
So when you look at your map, the south portion of it is the 7 lamps that you actually light.
Okay.
Now that's the first thing. You also have to place lamps on the either side of the main door.
All right.
And finally you end up doing it is recommended that you do Omkara for about 108 times.
Okay.
Now once you do this, your body is ready. Body is ready. Also during this time, because you would have thought about all these things, this would also be the right time to invest in any appreciating assets. So that is the reason why traditionally we say that during the time of Deepawali you have to buy gold. There is a Muhurat trading that happens, and stuff like that. So it is also recommended you actually make a sound investments during this time. The investment need not be gold. Whatever you are comfortable in it, and whatever is your line of choice, you can actually go into that mode.
Okay.
So this is what you have to do in the third day.
Third day.
Then finally we come to the fourth day. The fourth day, again the ritual is very simple. In fact, this ritual is actually very, this actually tells us that our scientific spirit is extremely vast and important. You again begin with a hot water bath, end it with 2 portions of cold water. And then what you have to do is basically to distribute sweets to your professional network.
Okay.
Then there is a reason why you do it, distribution of sweets. It's not about just distribution, but you also have to make them eat it. Now why? Because sweet as a taste, according to Ayurveda, sweet as a particular 6 different tastes that are there, and sweet as a taste harmonizes the mind to a large extent and brings in a sense of contentment. Now when you go meet your professional networks, they are already in this creative state.
Yes.
Right? And when you give them this sweet, the mind becomes contempt. The conversations that you will have with your business partners, with your existing business partners or prospective business partners, will be much better. Both the creative juices would be there. So this is where I have told Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti and Gnana Shakti. By exchanging good amount of words with your business partner, you will be able to get better insights of how to do sound investments.
Okay.
And this is what you should be doing for Deepawali.
Okay. So we are going to end on day 4th, the rituals.
Yeah, so the fifth one again, as I told you, is a
Okay.
Gupta Rahasya. So we should, I don't want to, you know, speak it out here.
As I said, you want to
We have to look at the horoscope and then accordingly prescribe it.
Okay,
But these
sir.
are the three days which even a common man can do it.
Okay. It was pleasure having you here. Thank you so much for elaborating and teaching us some science also today. And so like it was very interesting to know the science and significance behind Deepavali. Thank you so much and namaste.
My pleasure. And I also wish all the viewers of Shankara TV a very happy and prosperous Deepavali. May the wealth aspect of your lives increase in an ethical manner this year. Thank you.
Dear viewers, thank you so much for watching this show. We wish you once again happy and safe Deepavali. Namaste.